Welcome, everybody. Oh, nobody's on it. Are we on? Think so. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this Sunday. Can you hear me? Can we see the messages here? We lost the line. Hi, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. So I guess Richard is trying to figure out her way around this thing again. But this is where we take your questions. The thing is, we're not seeing the questions. Are you seeing the questions?
No, we can see. No question has been asked yet.
Oh. So again, welcome everybody. This is where we take your questions about real estate, money, wealth. If you want to ask me, Xander is not with us today. He is for some reason screaming up a storm. Not too sure what's happening with him right now. But I hope he settles down soon. He's screaming for his mommy.
You think so?
Yes, he's screaming for his money. Mommy. All right, everybody. So you can ask me real estate questions. We are, for some reason, we're not seeing the questions. So we usually see them on this side. Chat overlay, it's on right here. Everybody, if you can hear us, say hi.
Do you know anything about Pyramid Point houses in Ochi?
Oh yeah, I see the question now. Pyramid Point in Ochi. I know of the houses, yes. And I, as a realtor, I can also sell the houses. So I know about the houses. Pyramid Point, they're up in Breadnought Hill. So it's when you go on the Milford Road, like you're going towards Fern Gully, and you turn left up Breadnought Hill, which is that road I usually use to detour us if they're doing some work inside of Fern Gully. So it's inside the pyramids, the land development. You go through there and it's there. Toni-Ann is okay. She's recuperating still though. So she's still not strong enough yet to sit through 2 hours of YouTube live. But she's getting there. She's getting there. She's healing very well, the doctor says. So she's doing very well.
Canadian says, what are your thoughts on the Reading Manor in Montego Bay? Need it for bread and breakfast.
Reading Manor? I don't know that one. I know where Reading Manor is, to be honest with you. I know Reading, but I don't know if it's a development called Reading Manor. But I guess Reading is close enough to downtown Montego Bay. If it's where I'm thinking Reading is. So Reading is on the outskirts, like you're going towards the Lucy side, right? Reading is that last stoplight that you come to and you turn left, and that's Reading. So it's a good location if you're talking about bread and breakfast. It's about 15 minutes from the airport on a clear day when there's no traffic. It might take about half an hour if there's traffic. But it's right there in Moby. Anything in Montego Bay should be good for bread and breakfast. All right.
Helena Brown says, hi, Miss Davis. Is it better to buy the land or build or buy the small house?
And then it depends on your skill set. Now, I did training in building and construction at heart. So I kind of have an advantage in that. I know what to do. I know what to look for. Also, I live in Jamaica. So building is like a challenge for me because I'm there, I can supervise my construction. If you're not in Jamaica, then you need to hire a proper project manager to manage the project for you. Just think of it this way. When you build, you will build at cost, right? So let us say I was to build the components of this thumb drive, and I was to buy each individual part and put it together. Then I should be able to do it cheaper than to walk into the store and buy it from somebody who will be now selling it at profit, right? So look at it that way. When you're building at cost. When you're buying from a developer or from another person who is selling, you're buying at retail. So quote unquote, you're buying their equity. So if you're talking about size for size, it's cheaper to build. So if you're going to buy one of the small houses at 1,200 square feet, it usually should be cheaper for you to build a 1,200 square feet house. It should be, because you should be building at cost, right? Whereas you're buying the developer's profits, you're buying the other person's equity, and so on.
Elaine says, where can I find a good lawyer to purchase a house?
To purchase a house, to find a good lawyer? You mean where you find a realtor to help you find a house to buy? Is that what you mean? Because when you're buying a property, the lawyers don't come into play until you find the properties. When you find the property, you go and hunt a lawyer to help you put through the sale. Can you?
Vivian says, can you recommend someone who does nice kitchen cupboards?
Eurotrend. I'm trying to remember the name. I think it's Eurotrend enough. So they can give you a range. They can give you solid wood. They can give you compressed board. They give you a whole range. There's this other place I'm trying to remember. It's Creative Kitchens, it's called. It's right up in Dunrobin, but I can't remember the name. Who I used to use is Taylor Wood. Taylor's Wood went out of business and I can't find them. But they do good kitchens. Taylor's Wood. I've used them for a couple of kitchens, but I don't know what happened to Taylor's Wood now. If any of you know where Taylor's Wood is, you can let me know. But he did my kitchens. He does very good work.
Good day. When you hire a lawyer, at what time do you pay the lawyer fee?
Usually at the end of the transaction, if it's a real estate transaction you're talking about. Some lawyers will take a retainer though. Like they may take a retainer flat fee up front, and then when the transaction finished, they take the rest. Here, QA, thank you. Yes, Toni-Ann is recovering nicely. So this is Rachel, my other daughter, who is helping me today. And you notice by now that Rachel loves to wear wigs. I tell Rachel, wear it all here. No, Mom, she's wearing a wig. She loves wigs. So this is Rachel. So she's my second daughter. So she's helping me with this today.
Ali says, "Good day, ladies. Miss Davis, is there a specific time period for NHD tax payment to be done?"
Well, NHD tax payments is paid with all the other taxes, So your income tax, your education tax, what's the other tax? NHD, NIS, yes, right. Thank you, Rich. So income tax, NHD, NIS, education tax. So 4 taxes are paid now at the same place, the tax office, and they're due on the 15th of March, which is gone already. But I think you got an extension up to the end of this month, which was Friday, was it? When is the end of this month? Tuesday? Okay, so you have an extension, but you have to pay it after that. They hit you with a penalty. But the NHT taxes are now, NHT contribution is now paid with the other taxes at the tax office. And you pay every quarter, right? So you pay now January, February, March, due by the 15th of the month. Then April, May, June is due. Then July, August, September, then October, November, December. That's how it's paid in quarters. Or if you have the money, you pay all of it one time. In March. Pay all of it in March and forget about it. So what you're filing now in March, you're filing last year's taxes. So when you file March, you're filing for 2020. Then you're going to do a SO4A, which is an estimate of your taxes going forward. So you tell them how much you think you're going to make going forward. It's calculated on the system for you, and then you pay them every quarter until you finish the end of the year again, and then you repeat the same procedure next year. All right?
Zoe Buffalo says, "What would be the total estimated closing cost for a $24 million house using mortgage?"
That I can't tell you, Zoe. You have to ask a mortgage rep. Now it depends. Some companies charge you for the loan, right? They may charge you at 2%, 3%, 4%. So you take that percentage based on the amount of money that you're borrowing from them. As far as closing costs of the government is concerned, when you're buying a property, the government of Jamaica only charges you $5,000 stamp duty. The buyer pays $2,500, the seller pays $2,500. If you're selling the property, then you also have a 2% transfer tax that you pay, right, Rich? So it just depends. So your closing cost is twofold. One is for the, give me some question. Twofold. One is for the bank that you're taking the loan from. They will charge you a percentage of the loan. And the other one now is if you're a buyer, the closing cost on the government side is only $2,500 stamp duty.
Gimme Way says, "If I don't have any money to buy a house, can I still buy one?"
Can you still buy one? I remember once I was buying, I looked in the Gleaner Sunday today and I saw, as a matter of fact, I'm going to do a case study on it later on. I looked in the Gleaner and I saw at Oxford Manor for $2.8 million. I said, Toni-Ann, come look for this. I would jump in our taxi and we run go down to Oxford Manor. I was driving. We looked at it and we loved it. And we say, yes. That was mashed down apartment still. I say, yes. Tell the young man, yes, we want to. We're coming back with the deposit next morning. Well, I tell you guys, I didn't have any money. What did I do? I walked into the Scotia at the time it was. And I said to the rep, I said, listen, I see this apartment and I need the deposit. It was $280,000, 10%. The place was $2.8 million. I said, I need a deposit. I need a deposit. I don't have no money. He said, all right. Let me see your pay slip. Looked at my pay slip and he said, okay, I can give you $300,000. That was $300,000 called a Scotia Plan loan. I took the $300,000, I take $280 out of it and I got deposit on the place. And then I applied to Jamaica National and they gave me a loan. I didn't have any money at the time. But what I had was a strong desire. I want this place. Toni and I looked at it and I said, we want it, we never have the money. And boom, as a matter of fact, when we got the property, the first day Toni and I, Rachel, went in there and cleaned up this property. Were you there? No, you weren't there at the time. And a man downstairs run up. It was an apartment, run upstairs and said, what's happening here? What's happening here? Him said, it's raining in my apartment. It's raining in my apartment. Of course, the bathroom was leaking, but we didn't know that. The bathroom was leaking and the owner sold it to us. We did not know that this place was raining cats and dogs in the bathroom. So we turned on the pipe to actually wash out the bath and fix it up now to rent out the place. Anyway, calling the plumber couldn't find the problem. I say, you know something? My plumber at the time was Johnny, still my plumber, good guy. My friend, good friend now. I said, Johnny, got this. We have to find the problem. We got it, take out every bath, everything. You know what happened? The waste under the bath had cracked. Now, guys, if you have a leak like that in your house, you have a bath, you can't find the problem, it's the waste underneath the bath that cracked. And we got it, I had to go back to Jamaica National and borrow another 300,000. I'm redo the bathroom, redo the kitchen, and voila, I had the apartment. But I didn't have any money when I started. Now, give me way 666. You don't have any money, but if you have a strong desire, so places like Educom, which is a credit union. The name of the rep is Davis is our last name too, but I try to remember her first name. WhatsApp me, I give you her number. Call her, see if she can probably give you what we call a short-term loan for your deposit. If you're with the National Housing Trust, you're gonna go to them and get your eligibility letter and see how much them will lend you. If not, you're gonna have to approach a bank with your place and see how much they will lend you. You just have to have a strong desire and you want it, right? Another thing you can do, if you have insurance policies, the dividends and the cash value, usually you can take that off without paying it back. Yeah, dividends and cash value. If you have children's savings account, Rachel, if you're saving money for your children's savings account, you're saving money in your children's savings account, and you don't own a house, I suggest you take out the money and go buy a house. What do you say, Rachel? What do you say? What do you say? It's not better you do that than to save up money for children and you don't own a house. What do you think? Yeah. So, yes, you can buy a house even if you don't have any money, as long as you have a desire. You can also go borrow the money from your mother, father, sister, uncle, brother for the deposit. You can borrow, sign a promissory note, and make sure you pay back the people. You can join a partner, take the draw, and go pay the deposit. Right? Try to get an early draw, pay the deposit. I see Rachel smiling because she's looking at some other comments right there and smiling. So, that's what you do. I have
Jamaican Canadian. I have left over 9 million. Where can I invest this?
Buy a property. Where? 9 million. When you say invest, what you mean? You want paper assets or you want real estate? If it's real estate, cheapest I can think of now is a Belacre that was selling for 10.5, some one bedrooms. That's the most reasonable one I can think of now. Or if you can get Housing Agency of Jamaica, have some houses selling, Shooters Hill. Where is some of it again? Shooters Hill, St. Catherine Estates, Portmore. If you can get one of those, you buy it. Or a new scheme's coming up in Portmore, buy one of those.
Jamila says, any changes been made to the overseas criteria, overseas contributor criteria, or any updates an interested person should be aware of?
Oh, that, you know, I've been following the news. I don't think so. I would have probably heard it already. I would have heard, but I didn't hear of it actually. What's the next question?
Can NHT recommend a lawyer when purchasing a house?
No, NHT are lenders, so they're not going to recommend a lawyer. You can WhatsApp me and I recommend a lawyer. I'm assuming that you have found a house already, because lawyers don't look for house or purchasers. They only put through the transaction, right?
Okay.
Did you miss a question? No? Okay.
Thank you for doing this weekly. How much does it cost to set up a solar system to run a 2,000 square foot house?
Oh, that's something you need to ask Mr. Bernard. I don't have my phone. Send me a WhatsApp and I give you Mr. Bernard's number. He's the one who does the solar systems. Natalie's asking where Xander. Xander was throwing a tantrum earlier. I think he has settled down now. He's probably eating or sleeping or something thereabouts. He was not in good spirits at all.
Tashalia, what advice or words of encouragement can you give to a 24-year-old who has been watching your videos and took your advice to purchase something and is currently awaiting feedback from the bank?
Rachel, what advice you can give? You buying something, buy already. What advice you can give? Rachel is 20. How old are you again? 25? So you and Rachel in the same boat, Tahilia, Bailey. I would say stick with it. Don't give up. Even if the bank tell you, suppose you say to the bank you want 15 million, the bank say no, we can't give you 10. Find something for 10 million and buy it. Don't turn back. Remember, you start this journey wanting to buy a house, right? So the little obstacle courses that you have to jump over, find a way over them, round them, under them. But remember, the goal is to get a house. So you don't reach a goal until you actually have that key in your hand. So no matter what them tell you, your goal is to buy a house, all right? So I'm sure the bank will come out with something. The only way the bank probably turn you down is if you have a whole heap of other loans, like car loan, student loans, and so on. Tanya says, yes.
Is Rachel your daughter also?
Yeah. Rachel, answer the people, no man. Yes, Rachel is my daughter also. She don't talk as much as Tonya, but yes, she's my daughter.
Hi, Claudia. Is there any gated community in Mandeville?
Moorlands. Oh gosh, gated in Mandeville. Not houses though. We have townhouses. You have some townhouse developments too. But I know of moorlands. You buy the land and you build your house. So that's gated. Do I look for houses for people? Not necessarily. I'm what you call a listing agent. So I sell houses, right? You have a lot of other agents who will look houses for you. Like Toni-Ann is a selling agent too. But Toni-Ann will look house for you. But like me, I'm a listing agent. So I mostly work with sellers. So if I have the property, then you come and buy it from me. But Helen, tell me on WhatsApp and tell me what you're looking for.
Claudia, do you look for houses? Yes.
That's what I just answered. Tell her I'm a listing agent. You need to find a property. You're missing a question. If you need to find a property first before NHD tell you. No, ask them for the eligibility letter first. That way you know what you qualify for. Then you go look the house. If them tell you that you have to find the property first, tell them no, you want the eligibility letter first. So you know how much money you have to spend, all right? So everybody, this is Rachel. So this is actually Xander's mommy. Xander is not on now because he was throwing his first tantrum, right, Rich? I don't know what's Xander's problem today.
Diane says, how long does it last? How long does it take for a title to be transferred in someone's name when sent to titles office?
You go take them about 5 days. Don't take titles office long. Once everything is in order, you don't take them about 5 days.
Miss Swirl and her garden says, hello ladies, do you know the cost of probate for a house in Jamaica valued at $4 million?
That I don't know. It's not hard to find though. Just Google it. I'll probably do it in my next session. Let me just write it down, Rich. Give me one of those before I leave. I'll show you how to calculate it next time. To calculate probate. Another question for me.
T. Burrell says, got a friend looking at 3-bedroom in Manitoba, like the beauty.
Oh, more than likely you're gonna find a townhouse for that. I know they're gonna be building some apartments in Mandeville, A Vista, but not houses. Those are apartments gonna be gated too. But I can't think of a gated scheme in Mandeville. That's houses alone. What is that? How again? How is Toni doing? She's great.
Henry is, can you use a parent or any other relative in HS point after they die? NHT's point.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, they have to be a contributor. So if they have died, they're not a contributor. What happens though, when you die, you can get back all the monies that you contributed to the trust. You can get it back. So you should probably go and investigate that and see if they can get a refund.
Really?
What's Leonie saying? She's in debt? Oh, she's going to buy the land? You have to clear the debt, Leonie. Clear the debt. You see, which is one of the reasons why you buy the property first, everybody. So before you get into any debt, I want you to buy the property first. Buy the land or the house first. Before you buy, you get into other debt. If you're not taking a loan to buy a piece of land or a house, do not take on the debt. Eligibility lasts, well, technically it will last as long as the position don't change. So if your income don't change, you don't change your job and those things, it's the same money they're gonna give you. Right? Tanya's asking what happened to Toni. Well, Toni did her fibroid operation, guys. Those of you who have been following her. So she did her operation, I think it was last week. Tuesday, was it, Rach?
Yeah.
Last week, Tuesday. So she's still recovering from that, right? Or was it the week before? Was it? What was the week before?
It's the second time I'm on Zoom, so yes.
It's a week before. All right. So yeah. So she's recovering. She's recovering nicely. It's just that she can't sit through the 2 hours of Zoom. All right.
Noble Girl says, is it normal for developers to be very much delayed in completing developments one cannot make based on a completion date given?
Yes, it's very normal, Noble Girl, for a number of factors. It rains in Jamaica a lot. That's one.
Yeah, don't work when it rains.
We don't work when it rains. Well, not in construction. We can't. Machines break down. We also have our components are imported too. Right now, I know developers are struggling because some of the things they would have ordered out of China, we're having delays out of China real badly because of the pandemic, right? So that's causing delays right now as well. Because of the delays too, we're having increase in prices because of the limited goods. Once you have supply fall and demand is still there, the price of goods will raise. Those of you with economics will know that. So yes, it's normal for them not to be able to meet the deadline.
Henrik says, what is a good credit score to have when applying for a mortgage? And Helen replies at 800.
Well, I'm not so sure. In Jamaica, we look at your income and expenditure. We look at your income, how much you're earning, and how much you're spending. Our debt service ratio can be anywhere from 30 to 50%. So it depends on how much debt you're carrying. Now, your credit score might be good because you pay your bills on time, but it still don't mean that we're going to give you a loan. Because if you're outside of the debt service ratio, then you can't get the loan. So if it is you're earning $1,000 US and you're paying $500 in loans, and the debt service ratio is 50%, so it means you can only use half of your income to pay debt, which is the $500. And you have mortgage, you have student loan, you have car loan, you have credit card debt, and them come 100,000. So even though you might have a 800 point score because you pay bills on time, Jamaica is not going to give you a loan because you're outside of your debt service ratio. You cannot afford any more loans. That's what I'm saying. Because we know that you have to live, so we can't more than 50% of your income, or 20 or 30, them kind of money.
Garth says, hello ladies, good to see you. Hope your weekend going well with the curfew on. Is St. Mary a good parish to buy property to build a house?
Yes, St. Mary, yeah. If you're on the north coast, you're close to the coastline, St. Mary of rainfall, good parish. My father is from St. Mary too. And we're enjoying the curfew, no problem. We're used to being in this house or with us, all of us. Yeah, I'm usually out. These guys are usually in. My daughters, Toni-Ann and Rachel and Xander. So Rachel is reminding me, not me. Usually I'm driving up and down. But I don't mind. After this, when I finish with you guys, I'll go and watch TV. Rachel put in one of our shows and I'll go watch TV.
Tina says, does NHD give you a loan based on your income contribution? Income.
Based on your income. So, Tina, the loan, can we go on that calculator now? Or let's set out a question and then we go on it. NHD calculator. What's the other question? Oh, Toni-Ann. Is Xander sleeping?
No.
He's feeding?
Yes,
Finally. I know what was wrong with him. You know what was wrong with him?
up to now.
He just decided to throw a tantrum.
How does someone find an honest lawyer in Jamaica? Somebody asked that earlier.
What's that man? I recommend a lawyer. Richards and Richards. I deal with them all the time. They're good lawyers. Richards and Richards. I don't have my phone, so I don't have the number. They have a website though. Richards and Richards.
Deanne Escalation says, how does one calculate the right price of a property?
Of a commercial property? Either buy a square foot or get a valuator to do it. Is that you're selling the property or you're buying the property or what? Whichever one you're doing, use a valuator. You need me as a realtor. Well, you know my number, 2926776. Easiest number to remember, 2926776. What's the other question?
GCJ says, what's normally the escalation cost after you purchase your cost in a development?
Anywhere from 0 to, I think the maximum is either 10 or 15%. Don't quote me. 10 or 15% maximum that they can charge you escalation. So you have to budget for the escalation. Somehow you always get caught with the escalation. I got caught with it with my first house too. I had to sell my furniture. Can you believe it? Rachel, I had to sell the furniture. It took me
extra money.
Yeah, the extra money that the developers cost because they're saying, oh, my charges went up and so on. You know?
Another case, I am a contributor with NHD. I tried to get one of the house from the new development. They did not call me.
That's because you're probably young, Natalie. Join with your mother and then you might get called.
Really?
Yeah. If you're young, they're not going to call you because based on their algorithm, it mostly goes to the persons who are older or contributing longer, right?
You have a priority. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Miss World Underground says, do you know a lawyer that is not lazy and slow? My mom died, left me a house, but the lawyer who has the will is sitting on it.
That would be Richards and Richards. We have the link, Tony. We don't have it here. Richards and Richards. Let's talk to Mr. Richards or Mrs. Richards and let them know Claudia Davis recommended you.
Lisa says, how much is it to draw a 2-floor plan?
Oh, Lisa, I can't tell you. Based on square footage. So anywhere, the draftsman, anywhere from $60 a square foot all the way up to $200 a square foot. It depends on who you use.
Hi, Miss Claudia. What is the next step after you spot a piece of land that you like?
Make an offer. Don't it, Rich? Make an offer to the owners on the land. Unless you don't know who the owner is. Make an offer, man.
Yeah, find the realtor and make an offer.
Yeah, find the realtor, find the owner and make an offer.
Tower Isle in St. Mary is a nice place.
Yes. That is a nice place. Yes.
Marjorie says, can you tell me if the banks are offering 100% financing and does it include the purchase of the land?
No, Marjorie, they have stopped offering 100% financing. That window has closed. Nothing lasts forever, guys. So yeah, once you see the opportunity, you have to just jump on it, right? I think they're lending 90% financing now.
Henrik says, I got to tell you, I forgot. No. I was told that to have 20% of the property price for deposit and closing fee is correct.
Your deposit is usually 5 to 10%, depending on what percentage loan you're getting. So if you're getting 95% loan, you can deposit 5%, right? If you're getting 90% financing, you can deposit 10%. So that takes care of the 10%. What did he say? 10 to 20%? Then the banks may charge you another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5% of the value of the sale price for the loan. The bank is going to charge you that. If it's NHT, it's either 4 or 5%, but with NHT, you don't pay that up front. It's added on to your loan. All right? And then what else are you paying for? So yes, it just depends on how much. So your deposit can be anywhere from 5, 10, 15%, depending on how much loan you're getting. And then the other 5% is for charges.
Edward Family says, why is it that I can't contribute to NHT? Only I have to contribute to NIS and education tax as well.
What's the question? Why is it?
That you can't contribute to NHT only, but you have to contribute to NIS and education as well.
Edward, are you Jamaican or you living overseas? Because if you're a Jamaican, then you know that there are some statutory taxes that we have to pay. One of them is the national insurance, which is an insurance scheme. When you reach 65, you can draw a pension from that. That's an NIS. Education tax is pulled from us so that Rachel can go to school. So that Xander can go to school, right? Yeah, Rachel said, me, she's not going to no more school. But so that Xander can go to school and all the other children in Jamaica. That's why we pay education tax. And what's the other tax? Income tax, which is another statutory tax, goes into the consolidated funds that pays for everything else that we use in Jamaica, the hospitals, what else? Roads, all these other things, government agencies, pays for all the government workers. That's what the income tax is for. The police officers, the soldiers. That's what it is for. And that is why we have to pay it. The NIS, the education, and the income tax. National NHT is only a contribution, right? You're not contributing to NIS, education, and income tax. Those are taxes. But NHT is a contribution. The NHT money is yours. You get it back after 7 years. You start getting it back after 7 years. If you take a loan with NHT, it goes towards your mortgage as well after 7 years. So Rachel, you reached 7 years yet? No, you just reached 4 years. So Rachel took her NHT 4 years ago. So Rachel, in the 7th year, NHT will start giving you back your contributions that you made and put it towards your mortgage. So you'll pay your mortgage off faster. Isn't that a good benefit? Exactly. And if she finished pay off, so like Tony finished pay her loan, I finished pay my loan, but we're still contributing. So what will happen? Our monies now will stay there. We can, like me, I retired at age 55, which is this year I'm retired, guys. I'm out of here by the end of the year. And then, so I can now go and get my refund contributions back again, but I have not gone for them. I don't want it. When I'm 65, I'll probably go and get it as a lump sum if I get here. Or maybe I should take it now in a rich. I should probably take my refund contribution in. And show Zanda off by stock market. Or off buy a house with it. But you can get back your money, guys. It's a contribution, so you get it back. So Edward's family, we have to pay those taxes so that our country can run, all right? That's why we pay them. So after the eligibility letter, what's the next step? You can actually look a house for the price point that you're in. All right, so I wanted to introduce a case study to you. I'll probably introduce it at 4 as to why you should buy a house. I will do that with you at 4 o'clock, but let us take some more questions if you have any more.
How effective is Richard and Richards when dealing with our overseas clientele?
Very effective. I'm used to dealing with overseas clients. I wish I had the link. We have a link that you could fill out, but Toni-Ann not here. Richard, you know where to find the link? Did she show you where to find the link?
Oh.
For the like Richards and Richards. No? No? All right.
Google. Infinity Record says, what's an average mortgage rate for a 2 to 3 bedroom house in a new development?
All right. I have to get on the loan amortization calculator. Average mortgage, you're paying 7.5 now for loans and 8%. They were at 6.5 and 6.9 and so on, but they've now gone up. You went to the NHT, did you email them, Tanisha? Send them an email. So you're going to send them your job letter, last 2 months pay slip, NIS, ID, TRN. Email them. wecare@nht.gov.jm. Email them and ask them for your eligibility letter. All right? Don't go to them. But their email works.
Richard Walcott says, so when are we going to build a new hospital in Jamaica?
Well, Richard, I heard one was supposed to go over Portmore. I don't know what happened to that one. I don't know. We need more than one new hospitals right now.
Okay, Michelle Rattray says, what question should I ask the bank when presenting documents for a mortgage?
What questions? You mean, well, what you want to know really is what you should give the bank when you want to go for a mortgage. So the bank wants your job letter, most recent job letter. They want your last 3 months pay slip. They're going to pull a credit report if you're in Jamaica. If you're self-employed, they're going to want a tax return. If you're self-employed, and they're going to want an accounting statement showing your cash flow if you're self-employed. But if you're employed, you just need a job letter, last 3 months pay slip, your ID, and they're going to pull a credit report for you. 1, 2, 3. What will stop you from getting the loan? If you have too much loans already and you're outside of your debt service ratio. All right. There's a question.
Claudia, if you don't take the NHD contribution and God forbids you pass, does it go to the government?
It goes to the government, does it? Juliet, you're telling me it goes to the government. So if it goes to the government, it means I need to take it before I pass. I need to go run with it.
You can. You make a beneficiary.
No, you can't. You mean appoint a beneficiary? I don't know if you can appoint a beneficiary like that. I can't get back mine now because I finished paying my mortgage. So every year I'm still contributing to NHD. So I can actually ask for the refund. Maybe I should ask for the refund because I'm sure I can do much better with it than they can. I can just go to buy and sell. All right.
eBay seller, do we contribute to NIS out of NHD contributions?
No, NHD contributions is separate. So it's 2% of your income if you're salaried, 3% if you're self-employed for NHD, and for education it's 2.25%, I believe, of your income. It's two different things. So NHD is a contribution and NIS is national insurance. And with national insurance, you can, when you reach 65, you can go claim and you get money. I think it's bi-weekly.
NIS?
Yeah, I think it's bi-weekly, something like that.
Noble Girl says, Jamaica is the only place I heard of that charge escalation. Why?
And that brings you to a good point, Noble Girl. Because of something called inflation. All right. Noble Girl. So you hit up good point. So let me just get into the case study right now. All right. So Rachel is going to share my screen. So I've been looking at house prices and how they've been moving and so on, right? So I'm just going to share this one first. Share the Excel first. So I'm going to share my screen. Is it shared? All right. I need to be able to see here. All right. So in 1989, I actually deposited on a house in a scheme in Spanish Town called Fairfield Park. I deposited 1989, but I didn't actually get this property until September 1990. Can they see this?
Okay.
All right, so here's the title. So this is me transferred on 24th, is it Rachel? Of September 1990 to Claudia Davis and Radlin, both of 3 Millsboro Avenue, blah, blah. Now, Radlin was a person who co-signed with me so I could get the loan. Remember, I keep telling you I couldn't afford the loan. So he co-signed with me and I got the loan. Then I sold the property to these people for joint tenants for $2.6 million in the 19th day of November 2004. All right. So let's have a look now. So as I said, I bought this property from Island Homes in September 24th, 1990. 2-bed, 1-bath it was, and the price I paid was $205,000 actually, but I borrowed $175,000, as you would have seen on the title. So I deposited the rest, right, which is what, $30,000, 15% I think of the price. At the time, the exchange rate was 7.56, and how I know this? Guys, you can Google it. So you're going to go to the BOJ's website, or you can just Google historical foreign exchange rates in Jamaica, and the table will come up. So at the time, the exchange rate was $7.56. So if I had bought it in US, I would have paid $27,000, $27,116. Now, I sold this property on November 4, 2004. So I actually owned the property for 14 years. and I sold it when I sold it, and I got 2.6. Exchange rate at the time was now at $62. How much would I have gotten? 41,928. But look what was my percentage increase. So the percentage increase in Jamaica from 205,000 to $2.6 million was 1,168. That was how much money I made in 14 years. If I bought it in US, but sell it back in US, kept it in US, convert back to US when I sell it, I would have only made a percentage increase of 55%. All right. In April, you by now you should be asking yourself, so what made the price go up like that so fast? 1,168%. Now, in April 2006, so remember, I sold this property in 2004. In April 2006, I bought a one-bedroom apartment at Oxford Manor from a private owner. That's the one I was telling you about earlier, where I run into Scotia, borrowed 300,000 and borrowed 2 point whatever from JN. Was $2.6 million, $2.8 million. By January 2010, which is 4 years later, is this 4 years, Rich? So this should say 4. 4 years later, I sold it for $6.5 million. So in 4 years, 132% increase is what I made. So I more than doubled the 2.8, and 70% would have been if I had it in US dollars. You should be asking, wow. But if I'd done another maths with you, you'd have realized how with this one, this property was actually, what was the mortgage? I think it was $35,000 a month or something like that. So now in February 28th, oh Rachel, I need the ad. Where's the ad? Go for the ad for me on the decks. So why I brought this property was because I just sold a property in Florence. This is a Florence Hall home in Trelawney. Some of you know that development. And I sold a property there for 17 million, but it had an addition. So I discounted it down to 15 million to compensate for that owner putting on the addition. But the property in 2011, February 2011, when Gore put out the ad for this property, and we didn't get to scan it for you, but here it is. Richard, you want to hold it up so them can see it. So this is Gore advertising the property February 28, 2011, 2 beds, 2 baths, was advertised for 7.5 million. At the time, the US dollar was 85.84. So if you had bought it in US, you would have spent 87,000. In March this year, property sold for 15 million. The US is now at 146.25. That was, I think, last thing I saw on the BOJ site. So the difference would have been 102. So you would have made 87,000 if you convert it back, 102. So you would have made only 17% based on a US price. But if you kept it in Jamaica, you would have made 100% increase on your money. What's causing this? Now, why I had to go back and look at this was because since I had a conversation with about 3 persons, and because the US dollar is now climbing, they're saying that, Ms. Davis, I can't buy anything because the US keeps moving and the US keeps moving. And the price keeps going and the price keeps going up. But when I said to them, no, it's not the US dollar why you're not able to buy anything. It's really something called inflation. That's the reason why you're not able to buy. It's inflation that is driving it. Now, when I did the exercise, it shows me here the inflation in this period, 1990 to 04, or somewhere 1990 must have been very high. Why this exponential increase in value over the 14 years, 205,000 to 2.6. also shows me 2006 to 2010, there must have been some serious inflation as well, because 132%. And also from 2011 to 21, that's only 10 years, and you've gotten 100,000 in value. Yet the US, just look at it. The US only moved, could say it only moved 55% here, 70% here, and 17% here. They have actually been keeping the US. I mean, it hasn't had that exponential movement. Because as you can see, in the 14 years here, it moved from 7.6 to 62.1. Whereas here, it moved from 85 to 146. And here, it moved from 65 to 89. So the US has not moved that exponentially. But the inflation, guys. So, all right, Rachel, bring up the so I decided to go look at the inflation tables. So Rachel's going to bring up those inflation tables for you. Where did it go? All right, Rachel is trying to find the inflation charts, right? All right, so while she tries to find it. So, as you can see, it suits you to buy a property when you can afford to buy it. Because you and I have no control over inflation. We have no control over the US dollar moving, right? The only control we have is the money that we earn and how we spend it. Now, in somewhere around when I had that house in Fairview Park, I remember some cars, Lada Riva came out, and I wanted one, and I wanted one, Lada Riva. As a matter of fact, I bought my VW Bug for $50,000, and I bought my house for $205,000. So the Bug cost me a quarter. And there were new cars being sold for $205,000. Now, if I had taken a loan and buy a car for $205,000 as opposed to buying a house, I think I would have been worse off. All right, so Rachel did manage to bring up the chart. So let's look at it now. So I bought that house in 1989, but I got it in 1990. Now, if you notice, 1989, the inflation was 14.33, right? So look at the chart. So down here, so these are the years. Right here is the inflation rate. And we're running it from 1960 to 2021. So in 1989, when I was buying it, when Island Homes brought them out, I guess the inflation was down, wasn't it, Rich? No, 1990. Here, it was 14.33. As a matter of fact, the year before that, it was 8.27. Then it started to climb. So that's 1989. By 1990, it was 21.96. And still, by 1991, it was 51%. And by the time we got to 1992, it was a whopping 77.30%. Now, that was what accounted for the exponential increase in housing prices. Why I was able to sell that house for $2.6 million. Because the inflation just ran away. But by the time we got down to 1993, it was back down to 22%. But by that time, the house prices would have already gone up. You and I know that once the price go up, it don't come back down. Unless something serious is happening in the economy. All right, what was the other year we're looking at, Rich? 2011. Or was it 2004? Yeah, 2004. Where is it? So if you notice again right here, 2004, it was at 13.54. Then went to 2005, 15%. Then we had a dip, 8.52, 9.29, and then voila, went up again, 22%. So these movements in the inflation drives the prices of the houses up, right? When did the Gore House come on stream? 20, what was it again? 2011. 2011 was 7.53. Then it went to 9.384, 8.29. Inflation has been dropping since 2015, 2016. Started climbing again 2017. Seems to have leveled off 2019. They have a release. Well, this chart has not been updated to 2020. All right, but we are now again entering. The BOJ is trying to keep the inflation rates low, but once the prices start to rise, because shipments out of China not getting here on time or being delayed, the demand for the goods and services are still here. We are going to have, I see the inflation moving. So those of you sitting around waiting to buy a property, you need to step on it. You need to step on it. Yes, Harry, I see you saying I need some rest. I do need some rest. I can feel it in my bones. So the curfew is kind of helping me out, keeping me home. All right, so that was my little case study. So I needed to move quickly to buy your property. Don't wait. Once you qualify for the property, buy it. You have any more questions, right? Oh, we're trying to just get back on track as to where we are in taking the questions. Yeah, if you're overseas, you don't pay NIS and income tax and education tax. That's if you're a permanent resident overseas. Those of you who are just doing a temporary job overseas, like you work on a ship and so, you must file your regular taxes.
Hi, Claudia. Do you charge for property valuations? If so, how much?
No, I'm not a valuer. So you have to use a valuer. You can just Google them. I have a whole heap of valuers in Jamaica.
Carlene says, when buying a house, after the first deposit, how long does it take to complete?
Carlene, you can take anywhere from 90 to 120 days. So 3 to 4 months.
Yakana, a friend purchased a 17.5 million house, and the monthly mortgage is 83,000 for 39 years. That's like double the cost. Why? Help me explain.
Double the cost of?
I
double
guess
the cost
over
of what?
39 years, it end up with twice the price of the 17.5 million.
All right, let's go to the loan amortization. Let's get the values. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to use the loan amortization, and you will understand why that is so. So the purchase price is 17.5, 83,000 per month, 39 years. I guess because that person is, how old is the person? 31? All right, see if we can bring up the loan calculator. So everybody, you must get familiar with this calculator. This calculator will save you. The loan amortization calculator. want to tell you, no, that's not what you must watch. I'll show you what you must look at. Why you don't look at it. All right. Yeah. She borrowed, are you sharing? She borrowed 17.5. And her, hold on, let me see, can we get there? Can I get it in? All right, let's do it backwards. You have to put in the years. Was it 39 years? Oh no, you have to use another calculator. This one don't allow us to go beyond 30. This one. Is that the one you're on? So put the mortgage term rate as 31. No, so yeah, 17.5. I don't allow it to go over 10 million. I wonder why. It's not going to calculate for you. Is it calculated for you? 39. No, you don't know the interest rate. What you know is the put 8 here. Unless it's on. Calculate. Not going to calculate. Apparently, in the States, they don't give loans like 10 million. That's too much. Find another calculator.
So how about like social antenna?
Yeah. Can go, I think, all right, let's see this one. Put in the 10 million. 31. Interest rate must be lower. You said you're paying 83,000. What you didn't tell me is the interest rate. 17.5 million house and the monthly mortgage is 83K for 39 years. That's like double the cost. Oh, she borrowed less money. She must have borrowed less rate. Hold on. She probably put on 10%. The house cost is 17.5. She put the loan at 16 million. She probably borrowed. He said she purchased the house for 17.5. Put this at 16 million. Put this back at 8. No, I put it at 7. 39 years. All right, I'm not getting your maths, but I can't understand what you're trying to tell. All right, so you said she borrowed. Let us use this one. So she borrowed 116 million. Interest rate 7%, 39 years. I guess because she's 31 years old. So this is saying she would have made 468 payments, and she would have paid 46 million. So if she borrowed 16 million over the total period of the loan, she would have paid back $46 million, which is technically, is that 3 times? Technically three times the mortgage. I guess that's a point you're trying to bring across. Why is that so? Well, most of that is interest. The 30 million, as you can see, is interest because the 16 million is the principal. So when you add this 16 million to this 30 million 73,508, You get 46,73,508, right? This is what is hitting you, the interest rate. Now, if you don't want to pay so much, what you do is reduce your term. So you say to the bank, give me a 30-year. That's if you can afford it, based on the debt service ratio. So as you can see now, your interest here now is only 22 million, as opposed to what was it before?
30.
As opposed to 30. And your payback monthly is 106, as opposed to, was what before, 90 something? It's 106, as opposed to 99. So you see, you're only paying 5,000 more, yet you pay 22 million less in interest.
8 million.
Oh, sorry, 8 million less in interest. Yes, Rachel, thank you. 8 million less in interest. And if you really want interest, you go with this. Which is what I do when I take in a loan. I take a 10-year. But that's assuming you can afford to pay 185,000 a month. So when I'm taking a loan, I take a 10-year. So this is out of borrowed 16 million, take a 10-year mortgage, same 7%, pay 185,000 per month. But I would have been paying only 6 million in interest. Right? Now, if you can't take a 10-year, you still take a 30-year. Why? Because in 30 years, this house, you're going to end up paying way less. And let me show you why I said that. Remember, I told you I borrowed 175,000. That in right. I borrowed 100, and I'm here getting it nice. I borrowed $175,000 in 1989. Got them stamped on it in 1990, as I showed you on the title. My interest rate was 18.75%. Victoria Mutual gave me that loan. It was a 15-year mortgage. Was it? So I took a 15-year mortgage at the time. Monthly payment was $2,913. I couldn't afford it. Next week I show you what my payslip, what that was. But I co-signed with Richard, who co-signed with me. And it was actually my buy and sell. So I couldn't afford it on paper. But my side hustle, which was my selling sweetie biscuit, that is what helped me and propelled me. Besides, my mother was overseas. Those of you hear me say when my mother said, "Barrel, I don't give away anything." That is the reason. Because the barrel is the food. Right? So we can't give it away. Because if I give it away, I have to go buy food out of my pay. I can't buy food out of my pay because I pay a mortgage, right? So 2.29. Now look at this. Over the period, the total interest I would have paid is $349,000. The total money I would have paid, having borrowed $175,000, was $524,371, which is 3 times this, right? Still, is it right? No, this only whole if it, this is 2 times this. See, almost.
It's like 3 times.
It's still 3 times. Somebody do the maths, please. All right, 3 times. No, let us say I took the maximum 30. Put 30 year age. So if you notice, 524,000 is how much we'd have paid now still. And let us say I took the maximum loan, which is 30 years. I'm going to pay the big interest of 813,000. And over the period, I'm paying 988,000. Now remember, this loan is at 18.75 in the year 1990. That's what it was. Victoria Mutual's loan, that's what it was. But I still took it. I never fret about interest rate. I made it just one house for living, all right? So, look, guys. Remember how much I sold the house for. How much did I sell the house for?
2.6 million.
2.6 million. And I sold the house at the 14-year mark. So if I had still taken, my loan was a 15-year. So I managed to clear it quickly. So you see, I took the 15-year, paid the 2.9, 5,400 the total payments I would have made, and I sold the house for $2.6 million. So even though I spent these monthly payments of $2,913 every month, multiplying up to $524,000, add back my $25,000 I paid as a deposit to this, that are $550,000 I would have spent. I was able to sell the house for $2.6 million and pocket $2.3 million in my hand. So you're still better off doing what? Buying the place. Look now. So let us say I'm going to take the 30-year mortgage. So the 30-year mortgage, what year would I have been in now? If I took a 30-year mortgage? So that's 1990 plus 30 years. 9, 10, 11, 12, carry 1, 9 and 1, 10, 20, 20. So I don't pay for the house last year. So if I taken a 30-year mortgage, guys, I would have finished paying for this house last year. I would have still paid me $2,007.
Which would be nothing to you.
Which might now would have mean nothing to me. 2,000. I mean, you could have begged this, right? Which would, as Rachel says, which would mean nothing to me.
That's like a meal now in a nice restaurant.
Yeah, that's like, this is a meal in a nice restaurant. Which nice restaurant you go pay $2,744? Is a burger you gonna pick up?
What a burger?
What you gonna pick up? Yeah, and the steamed fish you talk about. So, look, this $2,744, even if I paid it for 30 years, I would have paid $988,000. I remember, I sold that house at the time for 2.6. Now, if I was selling the house, I could have gotten 13 million. So Rachel, it looked like we should have keep the house for the 30 years. We sell the house too quick. I only got 2.6. I could have gotten 13 million now. We sell the house too quick, guys. So therefore, so I'm telling us only to buy property.
You get a $50,000 rental income.
Yeah, and I would have get some money. I could have rented it out. Oh. All right, so I'm telling you. So what was the question? Did I answer your question? Hope I did.
Why is it double the cost? Because of the length of time.
Because of the length of time. So Rachel said, the length of time that you're paying the interest for is really the interest. And the bank makes money on the interest. Look on the interest. 813,000 over 30 years. And this is 175. So this was the 17 million. But I did the maths before. Could have been what? 39 million or something like that? When I did the maths before with the 17 million. About 17 million?
Well, this is really a high interest.
That's with my high interest rate. So we can't take this down now. Interest rate is at 8%. So you would have paid, you're paying 128,000 a month for 30 years. You'd have paid a total interest of 28 million and 46 over the total. You'd have paid 46 million. And if the inflation keeps going, that house, if history repeats itself, that house is all 100 million 10 years from now. All right.
100 million.
Yeah, that's what you think it's not going to be 100 million? Those of you who think that the house price is not going to get to that, remember, it's history I'm using to predict the future.
What is that $17.5 million house now? A one-bedroom apartment?
Can be a one-bedroom apartment in Kingston because we're selling one right now. So 17.5 million is like a one-bedroom in Kingston, or it can be a Gore two-bedroom townhouse out in Discovery Bay. for 17.5. And we're saying, so Rachel, you will be here, so you figure it out. 30 years from now, I want to come and whisper to me and say, Mom, you were right. The house is now 100 million.
So you need a $300,000 income
Yeah,
for a one-bedroom apartment.
for a one-bedroom apartment. Who would have thought? When I was earning my little 2,000 US dollars, 2,000 Jamaican dollar a month. Next week, I'll show you how much I was earning when I actually bought my first house. All right? Who would have thought? All right. You have any more questions? So I hope I showed you why you must buy houses, guys. How can someone find a house?
If NHD only offers them 4.5 million and they're not even authorizing the contributor to use the money to buy a land.
You can use 2.5 and buy land. You can. You can't find any houses for 4.5. Depends on where you're looking. If you're in St. Andrew, it might be sticky, but if you go to the country part, you'll find it.
Okay, Ruth says, thanks for the advice. I have gone ahead and opened my JN account in Canada. I'll be calling to get the eligibility letter. I have been paying for the last few years.
Yes, Ruth. Get your letter right away and buy a property.
Mark asking, is Bel Acres estate is completing?
If it's completing, we're building Bel Acre. So we are now we're now at works. We've started building phase 1. Hopefully we should be finishing another 4 months and get to phase 2.
Lenny is asking, so if I'm volunteering contribution to NHC as an overseas citizens, then when I get my loan, would my contributions continue alongside the loan?
Yes. You have to contribute so other people can get loan. Toni and Claudia know a lot, but Rachel is learning, just like you. What if?
Kurt says, what if you're not working because of COVID-19 and you don't have any pay slips and you want to buy a house, but you're earning from another house you own? Can you get a loan like that?
You show rental income, Kirk. You have to file a tax return on the rental income. That's how you can get a loan.
Your occupation will be landlord.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anything else?
Mel Richard says, I agree. You really don't understand why the ratio of purchase price to mortgage is so high, double what you actually bought a house for at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Remember that the banks make money from loans, everybody. If you don't want to pay so much interest, then as I said, as I just showed you, all you have to do is decrease the period that you say. You could put this to a 5-year. Decrease the period. See there? You only pay them 3 million here, but you're paying 354,000 a month. So they know most of you won't be able to afford that. That's why they stretch it out to 40 years and all that. So, but it shouldn't deter you from buying, because in the end you're better off.
You can always readjust your loan.
You can always readjust your loan. And we did that.
So if you start earning dramatically more,
yeah, you pay more. So we showed you that last week as well. Is there a calculator with additional payments? We showed you that last week just by adding an additional payment. So let us say you want to every December you get a bonus, which is what I did actually too as well. When I was always behind on my payments. So with additional payments, because I was always playing catch up with additional payments. I was always playing catch up with the teeter with additional additional payments. I was always playing catch up with my mortgage because I had Toni-Ann and I had all kind of things that like bill to pay, this to pay, and I'll show you my pay slip. What pay slip on the next, right? All right.
I saw some papers up there.
Oh no. All right, so let's see. Oh, Dave Ramsey have one. Here it is. So if you make an additional monthly payment, let me see if this one will work for us. So put 10 million there. So a house is 10 million. You made a down payment of 1 million. So you borrowed 9 million. Your interest rate is 7.5. And your loan term is 30 years. This is what you'll be paying. The monthly payments of, what's that? Monthly payment, 6,000 per month. That's what you'll be paying. So your total payments is 2 million. Total monthly payments can be 2 million or 10 million loan. Where did we go wrong?
Go back.
For 30 years? Or maybe it was 1 million euro you had it here. As opposed to 10. Is it 10? It's a 900 instead of. No, that's 100. So this here should be 10. Right, so your loan is now 9 million. So your monthly payments is 62,000 and your total payments is 22 million, right? But look what happens now when I add an additional payment. Just by adding an additional payment, everybody get familiar with the loan amortization calculator. So the initial payment, let us say I just make one payment of 62,000 or 70,000, which is a monthly mortgage. This one not doing what I want it to do. But if you just make one extra payment, you save 570,000 and you knock 8 months off the mortgage, you save 10 months. But what we should have done was said, you want to do that every year for the 30 years or for this table not showing what I want. Show the table. Additional loan payment. That's if you pay double the money. That's saying if you pay 70,000 every month extra on top of your 60-something thousand, then you would have knocked 22 years off the loan. That's good. And you would have paid 11 million instead of 22 million in interest. All right, so that's another way that you can so look for a calculator that says mortgage with extra payments. Some persons will make one extra payment for the year at December, and that will pay it down faster as well. But just make sure you tell the bank that you put it into your principal. All right. You want another question? Let me say that some about joint pain. That's a recipe for joint pain.
1 tablespoon ginger powder.
water, tea, turmeric.
Turmeric and black pepper and coconut oil.
Oh, cool. You can send me that recipe, Rachel. Hey, can I get a snapshot of that? Those of you who don't see it yet, so this is joint pain, 1 tablespoon ginger powder in. God, Rachel, you read it because I can't see. Glasses. Read it out so I can hear.
1 tablespoon ginger powder in the morning in some water or make tea, and then 30 minutes before dinner, 2 tablespoons turmeric and a quarter teaspoon black pepper and 1 teaspoon coconut oil. Put in 8 gallons warm, not hot, plant-based milk.
Oh, so something like soya milk or almond milk or something like that. Okay, good. Do I have all those things?
Some coconut oil.
Get some coconut oil.
Paul Clark asks, a 2-bedroom gated development on the north coast, what would you say is decent price roughly to use?
Which 2-bedroom have on the north coast? We have Draxall reselling now, 27 million, 2 beds. You have Gore Development selling some townhouses now, 17.5, I think, in Discovery Bay. You have Outer Manitou. No, Out of the Blue, but they're up in the hills, they're not really on the coast. They're up in the hills. Still on the coastline, but up in the hills. They're at 17 point something as well. You have Ocean Point down in Hanover. They're at, I don't know the price of Ocean Point. You can look it up and call them.
Where Lake says, which bank would you recommend to get a loan for deposit, stamp duty, etc. in order to buy a piece of land through NHP?
Educom.
Edicom.
Yeah, go to Educom. I'm trying to remember the name of the lady. Her name is Davis. I think she's at the. If you send me a WhatsApp, I send you the link. I think she's at the UE branch.
Okay. Where it says, would you recommend buying a lot for 4.5 million, 11,000 square feet, as opposed to 19,000 square feet for 5 mil? Which would be better for farming, apartment building, and investing? 500,000 more, and you get.
Is that 10,000, 11,000 square feet and 19,000 square feet? Well, if it's farming, you probably want more land. But it depends on where. Remember, all land not equal enough. Suppose the $5 million land, even though it's more land, is up in the bush, you have no access to no utilities and all these things, and it wouldn't make sense. Your road access weak and all of that wouldn't make sense. So it just depends on what you want the land for, what you're doing with it.
Okay. Claudia says, can you buy a piece of land or a house from NHT without contributing to them?
No, you can't. Yeah, if it's private treaty. So that's a no. The only house you can buy from them is the scheme houses that they're selling. But if it's private treaty, you can buy from them. Meaning a house that's on auction. That's what it means.
Major says, how will the CBDC, Central Bank Digital Currency, affect real estate purchasing or investing in Jamaica?
Boy, Marjorie, that I have not yet wrapped my head around. I don't even know how it's going to function, really. I don't know anything about it. I need to go study it. But I guess when they're ready, they'll call us into all these meetings. All the stakeholders call us and sensitize us as to what's going on. But they haven't done that yet. So I don't know how it's going to affect us.
Latoya says, what if you pay down half the value of the property and borrow the other half from the bank?
That's good, Latoya. But if you plan to be a real estate investor, you can't pay down half of the money. You need to take that money and go buy something else. So if you have 50,000, place costs 100,000, you pay down 10% and go borrow 90,000. 90%. That way you have your money to kind of deposit on a next piece of property. Right? You don't tie up all of your money in a deal. Get the bank to finance the deal for you. only way you do that is if you don't plan to be a real estate investor. You just want to buy a property and live.
In your dream house.
Yeah, in your dream house. So you just buy the property. You don't want to keep money in the bank because you're afraid they might spend it. So by all means, in that case, you use a half and pay it out.
It says, can you pay a lump sum to reduce the interest rates? Yes. No, you can't reduce the interest rate.
What's the question?
Can you pay a lump sum to reduce the interest rate? But you can't reduce the interest rate or the time. Right?
Only the time.
The bank sets their interest
The bank
rate.
sets the interest rate. If you have good credit, I think though that you can negotiate the interest rate from the start, you know. And you can pay. There are some banks that allow you to pay, like them would say, pay X and you get Y, pay that and you get that. So you pay more upfront for the loan. So you'd pay a bigger lump sum for the loan itself. So if they were charging you 5%, 4% for the loan at 7%, you might say, okay, I'm willing to pay them 5% for the loan and they give me at 6%. Just depends.
Richard says, is it a bad idea to sell real estate in the US? Does that make it out of the reach for average Jamaicans?
What's the question though? Is it a bad idea to sell real estate in the US? Or you want to ask if it's a bad idea to sell real estate in US dollars? Does that make it out of the reach for the average Jamaican? Remember, in any market, there's a price for everybody. You have bread on the shelf. Yesterday, I was in the was it yesterday we were in the supermarket, Rach? Or the day before? Yesterday, Rachel and I we were in the supermarket in the morning. And I said, Rachel, so I'm glad somebody posted this thing about joint pain. I said, Rachel, I have some joint pain. I better go gluten-free. And I decided to look on the shelf for crackers or biscuit or something that was gluten-free. Would you believe a pack of crackers is $1,000? And a pack of ordinary crackers that Rachel would buy is $30, $40, $50. So the crackers that is gluten-free is 10 times the price of the regular crackers. Hey, no. The thing I would ask myself, can I afford to buy the $1,000 crackers? Can I afford it, Rich?
Yes.
Rachel says, yes, I can afford it. But the thing to ask yourself, what can you afford? So if I only had $100 in my pocket, I'd have to buy the $100 crackers. Or if I know it's going to put me in pain, I have to say, no, don't buy the $100 crackers. Claudia, leave it alone. Don't buy the crackers. Or I'm going to spend my money and buy the $1,000 crackers, right? So you just have to buy what you can afford. So it's not that Jamaicans don't have properties that they can't afford. It's that they can't find things that they can't buy. They can. It's just that. I remember when I was looking at my first property, I was told so many times to look at a house in Spanish Town. And I said, no, I'm not living in Spanish Town. Because at the time I lived in Barbican Heights to be exact. And eventually, I ended up lapping my tail and go buy the house in Spanish Town. That's what I could afford. And as I showed you earlier in the study, if I didn't do that, the inflation rose on 90. If I never met my deposit in 1989, I could not have bought the property again. I would have lost my window opportunity. So it's not that Jamaicans can't find a house that them can't afford. With the National Housing Trust, getting a 6.5, merging with somebody else and getting 13 million, you can buy a house. We are selling 2 bedrooms on Jamaica for the 13.5 gone now, them gone up to 14.5. But you could have bought one of those houses, you know. HAJ selling houses for 5.5, but some people go say them no, I'm gonna port more. Them don't want to live at Dumbo Holding. Them don't want to live beside the prison, which is where the house is at. But that's what you can afford, right? So the motto is for me. I tell my girls this too. You buy what you can afford until you can afford what you want. That's what I had to do eventually. And I can tell you, the people who bought in that scheme before me paid something like 135,000. I paid 200,000. Right across the street, I was in phase 2. Right across the street, that was phase 3. They paid 250,000. And we live on the same street. That's inflation carrying it. So if you sit around and wait, the inflation is going to catch you, and your salary is not going to move fast enough, and you will not be able to buy a property.
Easy say, Jay say, is there any other industries apart from houses and land you would invest in? Example, tools for construction.
No.
A lot of work possible for theft.
Theft, destruction. I'm in construction. I have to buy tools all the time as the men just mash them up. But when we talk about investment, you see, I like to believe that if I'm going to invest the money, it must be something that will outlive me. It must be something that I can pass on to my children and to my grandchildren. It must be something that generations to come will still make sense. So yes, you can invest in tools, but only if you're going to run a business with tools. That way you have money coming in. And I would say, if you run a business using tools, when you get that profit, buy real estate. That's what I would say. So any business that you're running, you make profit, you pay the government them tax, and you make profit, buy real estate. Because it's the only thing that is going to outlive you. It's the only thing that's going to be here generations to come, right? It's the only thing that you're going to have to show for 30 years of working. My 1970 VW bug that I bought for $50,000, I don't even know where it is now. I don't know where it is.
Sasuna says, a neighbor of mine is selling his house for 20 million and I only qualify for 6.5. He's willing to take a payment and monthly payment. Does that make sense? He wants to give me first preference.
Of course, Shoshana, especially if it's in a good neighborhood. Take the deal. Once you can afford the monthly payment, that's what we call a vendor's mortgage. Now, the only thing that might stop you, Shoshana, from getting that is if NHT, when they look at your salary and the vendor's mortgage he's giving. So his mortgage and NHT's mortgage is going to be registered on title. I did that already with a buyer. I must look for that title and show you guys. So he's getting on 6.5. Want to give you first preference, you owe him about 13 million. He has to register a mortgage and the title for 13 million. He may be kind and not register the mortgage. It should be good for you. That way NHT don't know about that mortgage. But if he wants to register the mortgage and title, the payment that he's going to ask you for monthly must be a payment that when NHT look at your salary and look at how much them are going to get, your salary must can carry both mortgages. But it sounds like you're getting a good deal, so take it. What you worrying about?
Shoshana added that the 20 million house comes with a community shop attached.
And that's even better. That's even better. You're going to have access to the shop? And you can sell and make money and pay the mortgage, then take it.
Marcia is asking, did I hear that the Bel Acre should be finished in another 4 months?
It should be phase 1, hopefully. We're trying to get there. That's just for the first phase, though. But if you go to Marcia, if you're one of the, can we bring up the Bel Acre website? You just show them the map. You can bring up the website? Just type in bring up another screen and type in Bel Acre. So I have I've this week uploaded a map to the Belica website. Let's see if it's loading. Those of you who bought a Belica, all right, here's a map. So if you hover over it, you can see where your building is. So this says under construction. This is lot 3, and I have a picture there of where the building reach. Don't hold me to the land square footage. I'm just trying to update this map. So if you're one of the persons who bought a Belica, you don't see your picture, you don't see anything, just give me a couple more days, right? As I said, Toni-Ann is off, so I am trying to get this thing done. So this is lot 2. This one is lot 4. That's me there taking the picture. Lot 5, lot 6, lot 7, lot 11, 10. Oh, I just reached lot 11. I haven't finished updating the rest. So here's the key. So available is in green, reserve, on the offer, on the contract, sold, model, so on. So you go to the Belica website. Some of them I've just started to upload the things that go with it. All right. And you can, so let us say you come here, you see it's reserved, but you want to inquire. So I have there 14.5. You're gonna click on it. You're gonna put in your name here. And you ask me the question, you send it, and it's going to come to me, to my email, I think. It either comes to me or it comes to the office. Fill out this form. Hi, Claudia. Then, and it's gone. Message has been sent. Please continue browsing. Return to map. And I do believe that I am the only real estate agent that have a map like this up. You, Rachel, give me a clap. So you see, guys, I'm working for your forward thinking. So those of you who purchase a Belica, I'm going to try and give you an update on your property. Every week I will try and post a picture for you, so you can see where your particular, the one you chose, where it is, where under construction it is. All right. You have another question, Rachel?
Is it wise to acquire a loan as a deposit payment?
You can acquire the loan if you can pay it back. Yes, I've done that. I've gotten a loan for the deposit and I've gotten a loan for the mortgage. See, if I said technically I never have no money in the deal, it was the bank money. So the bank's money. Take the loan. If you can afford it and you can carry the 2 loan, take the loan. Take it. Don't wait to save the money to buy the property. Do not wait to save the money. Me and you know, so we can't save money like that. Tell them, Rachel, we can't save it.
Delia, what do you think about buying land and building a house over time?
Hold on, Kirk, have a question.
We would like you to teach us about lump sum payment.
Yeah, lump sum payment. I was looking for the calculator. Like you put a lump sum on it, that's what you want. The same loan amortization calculator, where it says add extra payments, you just put in a lump sum there that you want to put in into a calculator and show you. What do you think about?
Buying land and building a house over time.
Yes, you can do that. Worse if you don't want to put the money in the bank. I do that. So you buy the land and you buy. So everybody, here's what you do. You have made a decision that you're going to be building. You're going to be doing some construction. You want to build. So what you do, you are going to buy up the things on the inside of the house. So you buy up your toilet. So what I usually do, I pick a room. So I pick a bathroom, for instance. And I buy the toilet, the face basin, the mixer for the basin, the mixer for the bath, the towel, holder, rack, everything. So just go in your bathroom, take a picture, look at the things that make up your bathroom, all the window for the bathroom you buy. You know that is a 2x2 you're going to use or a 3x3, whatever size. Buy those things. When you have money now, loose money. Every month, you take out some of the money there and say, I have $10,000. All right, $10,000 can buy me a door lock. $2,000 for a door lock in a range. $10,000 can also buy a toilet for $10,000. You can buy a pedestal basin for $5,000. So instead of buy a blouse for $5,000, guys, you buy the pedestal basin, you buy a mixer, you buy the nice mixer too. You know, I can't remember now. You buy a little so you can buy the nice things, right? You're gonna buy those and you put them down, put them under your bed, put them in your bathroom, put them more or less in my junk house. Please come in like warehouse. Storeroom. But just when you're shopping, you go into the hardware store. Don't shop in the clothes store. Just shop in the hardware store. That's where you go, right? And you're going to look for those things. Those of you overseas, you're going to Home Depot, you know, you're building in Jamaica. You're going to pop barrel. Put them good things in there, man. Not pick up bully beef and sardine, man. So you pack those things, right? In Jamaica, same thing. Going to the hardware, shopping the hardware, every Saturday, grab your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whoever, man. I said, come. Go into the hardware and you look for the nice things and you pick them out and you buy them for your house, right? Then now, when you get your blueprint, you get your loan from NHT. You make NHT buy the block, the sand, the gravel, the cement, them hardcore something. By the time you bring up the building, you have everything already for the inside of your house. I would say though, do not buy tiles. Tiles are too heavy and too cumbersome to lug around. So you don't buy tiles. And don't buy any block, sand, gravel, cement, steel, and paint. Don't buy those things. But certainly, the fixtures, buy those. You can buy door too. Have sale, exotic stones, and ABC, not ABC, Don's Electrical have sale. All those people always have sale. Go in and buy those things, all right?
Esther is advising you on what to eat. Yam, banana, chickpeas, rice. They're naturally gluten-free.
Oh, rice is gluten-free? Okay, I like rice. Rice is easiest. Put it in the blender. What's magic flour?
She's saying you can make flour.
Make flour. Put it in the blender. Mix with oil and salt. Pour in flat sheet pan. Rachel, you can do this to my man. Take a picture. Put the rice in the blender, you're saying, Esther. So put the rice in the blender, mix with oil and salt. Pour in a flat sheet. Bake. So is this raw rice I'm putting in the blender? Mix with, Esther, you need to WhatsApp me and tell me. It's raw rice. So yam, banana, chickpeas, rice is gluten-free, yeah. I forgot gluten-free.
Michelle is asking, is lot 2 a part of phase 2 of the Bay Lakers?
52. Lot 52. Did we shut down the Bay Lakers already? I can't remember where 52 is. I think it would be though. Like this. You're 52? I must have don't finish updated yet. Okay. Yeah, it's probably there, so. You're at 52. We can probably move up to 46 in a nickel. Is nickel? If you want, you can move up. Because I see a blank here, so I see here.
You're not finished.
On the offer. No, I'm not finished updating. Alright, when I finish nickel, just WhatsApp me nickel. Yes, a part of phase 2, but it sounds like you want to get your house quick. Alright. Phase 2 stops at, phase 1 stops at 15, lot 15. So everybody else who's behind that, 19 going all the way to 24, you're in phase 2. Any more? We have 3 more minutes. Scroll down.
Do you need to have the documents from Richards and Richards to get the final payment?
If you're borrowing from Marcia, if you're borrowing from NHT, you're going to wait until the houses are completed for us to get the completion certificate. Then you take that to NHT. If you're using a bank, you will get the documents now, go to the bank and get your commitment letter from the bank. That way you finish with the bank, and when we're ready, we just contact the bank for payment. So that's if you're using a loan. So if you're using a loan from any other bank except NHT, you will go and get your loan process now. So ask us for ask the Richards and Richards for the documents, right, to take to your bank. But if you're using NHT, you're going to wait until you have the completion certificate.
Okay. Somebody's asking, what is the best company to buy tiles from in Jamaica?
Tiles. I love to buy tiles at Active Home Centers, which is Active Traders, and Creative Building Finishes on Redlands Road. Active Home Traders have a beautiful website. You can go there. But for tiles, you want to go into the store and look. And Creative Home Building Finishes, so they have nice tiles. That's those two places I buy tiles.
Somebody's asking, would you recommend using a property owned outright to secure a loan, or take a fresh mortgage if you want another property?
Take a fresh mortgage, Mel. Yeah, I don't like taking a second mortgage on a property that I'm almost finished paying for. No. Take a fresh mortgage on a new property. Unless the first property you just don't like it and you don't mind if you lose it.
You don't want the bank to take everything.
Right. So if you don't like the first property, is it sure? You can sacrifice the one and then take the loan on that. But if it's a nice property, take the loan on a new one. That way you can, this property have a small amount of mortgage, and if anything should happen, you can cancel it quick, right? Take the loan on a new property.
Okay, Diane is asking, in your opinion, which community offers the best value for Airbnb? I've been researching properties.
That I can't tell you again because I'm not in the Airbnb market. Not in the Airbnb market. What's the question fully though?
That would allow me to vacation and also use for Airbnb, but hard to decide, preferably by the beach.
What you buy there is dependent on your money, you know. Depending on how much money you have. Because by the beach we have Marina Village. Those are almost 600,000 already. We have Bayview over Portmore. There's an apartment complex being sold right now. That's dead on the beach. It depends. I'm not in the Airbnb market, so I don't know. But you can go onto Airbnb and look at the properties mostly that persons are renting. I have an idea.
Pula says, can you stop paying the NHT once you start?
No, you shouldn't. You pay NHT as long as you're earning money. You only stop when you're not earning money. Sharon asking about 4 million down payment for a house. Sharon, if you have 4 million down payment, you have enough money, man.
Buy 4 houses.
Buy 4 houses. But it depends on the price that you're looking for. Usually the deposit is 10 to 15%. Just depends on the price that you're looking. That the price house that you're looking for.
Okay. The 11,000 square feet house, that's for the 4.5 million, is in Not Patrick, and the 19 square feet house is in the back of Newark, Manchester. I want to build an apartment and rent. Which property is better?
I know Not Patrick. It's Newark. You mean Newark or Newport? You don't know Newark. Where Newark is?
Newark, Manchester.
Yeah, where? Give me an idea which direction. Is it past Not Patrick going up? Not Patrick is, well, I would have said Not Patrick one time because that's close to the university. But now it's closed down. I'm not even so sure.
Spiritually.
Oh, no. But you stick up in a knockback trick. They're closer to Mandy Grove. I actually have a Cedar Grove selling for 6 million. 18,000 square feet for 6 million in Cedar Grove, which is actually closer to the university than knockback trick. Yeah. Spur Down, Spur Tree, Newark. Oh, I know it's where now. So Newark is a cheaper one. Where you go? It's in knockback.
Newark is a 19,000 for 5 million.
But you don't get more apartment for the 19,000 or so.
This is not factory.
You get more money on the you would get more apartments on the 19,000. You have to look on that too.
Knockback is closer to the city.
Knockback closer to, yeah, closer to Mandeville itself. So Mandeville there. There's a Spur Tree down there. So. All right, next question. When you pay the lawyer fee, when does you pay the lawyer fee? Usually at the end, but some of them will take a retainer.
Sharon Clark. I'm looking for something between 12 and 18 million. That's the 504 here.
Oh, I come Rachel telling me it's 504. You're looking for something 12 to 18 million. Where? If you're on the North Coast, you can buy Gore. Gore have some 2 beds, 2 bed, 2 bath townhouses selling for 17.5. Can buy that. What else is there? Can bring up a development down in Trelawney. Not Trelawney. Old Harbor. Around that price range though. You can try Ocean Point. Ocean Point is out in Lucy. Is at Point in Lucy. You can try them as well. Although they may have houses for 18 million, not so sure. Check it out.
Oreo says, I'm finally in the process for closing on phase 4 Phoenix Park. Is it safe to travel there?
Wow, you get a Phoenix Park. You're so lucky. You know how many people want a Phoenix Park? Is it safe to travel where? Jamaica with COVID? I'm not surprised it's come to Jamaica all the time.
Yes, I have a 2-week quarantine.
Yeah, you do the 2 weeks quarantine. You take a COVID test before you come. And you have to take the test again before you leave. Or it's not COVID you're asking about. And when you come here, remember it's a COVID running. So when you come here, you have to wear your mask, stay out of crowds, maintain your 6 feet distance, all of those things. Protocol. And COVID is our enemy you can't see. All right, everybody. I think Rachel is more tired than me. You have any more questions, Rachel? Or we're wrapping this up?
That's all I have. That's the last one I say.
That's the last one. Oh, you take the question them faster. You're very efficient. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Those of you who missed, I did a little case study earlier on. What was the name of the development? Gore Development, Gore Homes, 17 point something at Discovery Bay. So them just go. See, and then we just go. Yeah, we're on 3 to 5. All right. So everybody, thank you so much. Those of you who missed the little mini case study that I did with inflation, can probably watch the replay. It will be posted right after this. But thank you so much again for joining us. Everybody, enjoy your quarantine time and get some rest. I think I'm going to go and try that rice recipe. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.